I now recognize Ms. Green from Georgia for 5 minutes questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for clearing that up. There are 19-year-olds that are serving our country and defending our nation. We believe in merit. We believe in people that can do the job. That's why America elected Donald Trump this past election, and part of his campaign was Doge and Elon Musk. They were on the campaign trail together. As a matter of fact, the last 2 months of the campaign, and America overwhelmingly voted for this effort.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and now we recognize Marge the Trainwreck Green from Georgia for 5 minutes of questioning. Oh, and there it is. The sound of the gates of hell cracking open as the most embarrassing member of Congress slithered her way into yet another hearing, ready to screech, lie, and derail the conversation into a MAGA fever dream.
Cybersecurity is extremely important. It shouldn't be about race. It shouldn't be about sexuality. It shouldn't be about identity. In your testimony, you also expressed concerns that President Trump's administration's recent actions and that they will counter democratic principles, yet your unwritten goal of entrenching more woke employees into the swamp is the opposite of democratic principles.
The call was made, and like a rabid dumpster-diving possum, she answered. Marge the Trainwreck Green, the human embodiment of the bad Facebook chain letter, popped up like a malfunctioning whack-a-mole, shoving as much disinformation as possible into the record before anyone could call out the last lie. And this time, oh, she was defending Elon Musk handing unvetted 20-something tech bros access to our government's most sensitive cybersecurity systems.
The mission of your partnership is building a better government and stronger democracy. There have been multiple reports that you were in communication with the officials at the Biden administration prior to President Trump taking office. Is that true?
We run the Center for Presidential Transition, so we've helped the Trump campaign when they were trying to set up their transition operation in 2016. We've helped every administration set up right, both Republican and Democratic. Yes, we've been in contact with the Biden administration. We've had an open door to everybody. If you would like to have the facts, I can provide those to you, but let me know, because the reality is we do honor civil servants, not political appointees.
That's right, not questioning it, not concerned about the national security risks, not asking if these kids were properly screened or if handing over the nation's digital infrastructure to Musk's hand-picked tech cultists might pose a problem. Nope. Instead, she made herself Musk's personal guard dog, barking and snapping at anyone who dared to question the wisdom of giving a foreign-born billionaire unchecked power over our federal networks.
Did you discuss any strategies for how to prevent President Trump from firing federal workers?
In what context? I do not think that it's a good idea to offer the entire workforce non-strategically an opportunity to resign and to press them to do so, because you're going to lose cybersecurity professionals that you don't want to lose. If you want
DEI professionals, are you trying to stop President Trump's administration from firing DEI employees that you placed in the federal government?
We are not engaged in trying to stop anyone from getting fired, but that's not the role we play. What we do say, though, is when civil servants, let me finish the answer.
Well, Mr. Steyer, let me ask you one
question.
I have a few.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, if I'm asked a question, do I get to answer it? Okay, then go ahead.
I'd like to reclaim my time. Thank you, Mr. Steyer.
Let's be clear. This hacker kid, that Musk has plucked off the internet weren't hardened cybersecurity veterans. They weren't thoroughly vetted experts with clearances. They were handpicked by Musk, given unfettered access to critical systems, and embedded in the Department of Justice without the oversight that any other American would be subject to. One of them, the son of a billionaire CEO, because of course this whole thing is just another Nepo baby joyride through the federal government. And what does Marge the Trainwreck Green do? She shouts down any attempt to question it. She cuts off witnesses before they can explain the risks. She pretends that this is about DEI hiring practices when the real issue is that Musk's hacker squad now has access to everything from payment systems to classified government operations.
Wired uncovered a number of these young men, including a 19-year-old named Edward Korestein, who appears to have recently graduated from high school and to have been enrolled at Northeastern University. Korestein and another young man are listed in internal OPM records reviewed by Wired as experts at OPM, reporting directly to Amanda Scales, its new chief of staff. What's more, employees at the Government Services Administration tell Wired that Korestein has appeared on calls where workers were made to go over code they had written and justify their jobs to the college freshmen. Korestein did not respond to a request for comment from Wired, nor did OPM. It seems like a recent high school graduate is determining whether career civil servants have sufficiently justified their jobs.
This isn't a hypothetical concern. This is a blaring five-alarm national security crisis. Imagine for 1 second that the Democrat president allowed an unvetted group of 20-year-old tech bros to gain control over the Department of Justice cybersecurity. Imagine if Biden had personally installed some Twitter-famous ethical hackers into DOJ, gave them full access to sensitive government data, and then told people not to worry about it. March the Trainwreck Green would be on the House floor foaming at the mouth, demanding military tribunals, but because it's Musk, because it's Trump's favorite billionaire overlord, suddenly government transparency and national security don't really matter anymore. And let's not forget Musk's own words. He wants to rewrite the government. This isn't some innocent attempt at helping the DOJ. This is the first step in a full-scale takeover. A billionaire with an open disdain for democracy, who has already used his wealth to manipulate public discourse, now has direct influence over the government's digital infrastructure. And Republicans, they're bowing down to him like peasants at a king's feet. This is what Marge the Trainwreck Green is fighting for. Not for working class Americans, not for government accountability, not for security or fairness or anything remotely resembling patriotism. No, she's fighting to protect the unchecked power of a man who treats the United States government like a tech startup he just acquired. She wants Musk's lackeys in charge because it means Trump and his cronies get full control over every lever of government. She isn't just enabling corruption, she's actively silencing anyone who tries to stop it. She doesn't want answers, she doesn't want oversight, she wants full authoritarian control for the people that she worships. And she will scream, lie, and bulldoze her way through any opposition to get it. If a Democrat had handed over our cybersecurity infrastructure to a billionaire and his tech cultists, Marge the Trainwreck Green would be leading the impeachment hearings herself. But because it's her billionaire, her party, her ideology, suddenly none of it matters. And the scariest part, she knows exactly what she's doing. Marge the Trainwreck Green isn't just covering for Musk's hacker squad. She's out here rewriting history in real time, vomiting up one of the most brazen election lies the GOP has ever told. According to her, Trump won the 2024 election in a landslide. That's right, we're back on Planet MAGA, where losing means winning, reality is whatever Trump says it is, and facts are just inconvenient obstacles on the path to full-blown authoritarianism.
The Trump administration's actions are the embodiment of democratic principles. This is what the American people want. This is what they voted for. The American people overwhelmingly voted for President Trump in a decisive landslide victory to reform how our government operates. Most importantly, how the federal workforce operates.
This is not a mistake. This is not one of Marge's usual dumbass ramblings. This is a coordinated effort to push a lie so aggressively, so relentlessly, that it becomes the default narrative for millions of Americans. They tried this in 2020, but they weren't prepared for the resistance. This time, they're going all in. Think about the stakes here. If they convince their base that Donald Trump won in a landslide, what does that set up? It lays the foundation for every future election to be deemed illegitimate unless a Republican wins. The goal isn't just to lie about 2024. It's to make the entire democratic process meaningless. If people believe Trump won overwhelmingly, then any Democrat victory going forward is automatically fraudulent in their eyes. That's how you lay the groundwork for a permanent MAGA dictatorship. And let's be clear, Republicans know this is a lie. The people running the party, the people behind Project 2025, they're not as stupid as the voters they manipulate. They know Trump lost. They know Americans rejected his second term, but they don't care because in a post-truth society, all that matters is repetition and loyalty. Marge the Trainwreck Green is just one of the many foot soldiers in this disinformation campaign. She shouts the lie over and over, drowns out dissent, and pretends it's already been accepted as truth. And the media? Way too many outlets refuse to push back hard enough. Instead of calling it what it is, a deliberate attempt to delegitimize democracy, they both sides it and treat it as just another political disagreement and let the lie to spread unchecked. This isn't about spin. It's about erasing reality. It's about building a world where facts don't matter, where elections don't matter, where power is determined not by votes, but by who controls the loudest microphone. And if we don't shut this down now, we will be right back where we were on January the 6th. Except next time, they're going to be more organized, more determined, and ready to finish what they started. Marge the Trainwreck Green isn't just lying. She's laying the foundation for the next coup. And every time she gets away with it, she moves us one step closer to the end of free and fair elections in this country. Marge the Trainwreck Green isn't just defending Musk's hacker squad or lying about the election. She's pushing the broader MAGA agenda to purge the government of anyone who isn't a Trump loyalist. That's what her entire rant about DEI being partisan was really about. It wasn't about hiring the best people. It wasn't about fairness. It was about setting the stage for the biggest political purge in modern history. She and the rest of the Project 2025 goons don't want qualified professionals in government. They want Trump loyalists who will do exactly what they're told. That's what she's railing against, diversity. That's why she's screaming about DEI, because in their world, diversity is a threat. Competence is a threat. Anyone who thinks independently is a threat. They don't want a functional government. They want an authoritarian machine. And this doesn't stop with DEI. They've already come for nonprofits, journalists, and civil servants. Next, the press, the courts, anyone who dares to question their power. This isn't just about reshaping government. It's about turning it into a weapon. Marge the Trainwreck Green and the rest of the GOP are not standing up for Americans. They are handing our democracy over to billionaires like Musk and would-be dictators like Trump. They are silencing opposition, spreading disinformation, and rewriting history to serve their own power grabs. And here's the real kicker. They are counting on Americans being too tired, too distracted, or too hopeless to fight back. That's the whole plan. Overwhelm people with lies, drown them in outrage, make the truth seem like just another opinion. But here's the truth. If we don't fight back now, there won't be anything left to fight for. This is bigger than Marge the Trainwreck Green, bigger than Musk, bigger than Trump. This is about whether we still live in a democracy or an oligarchy where billionaires and extremists hold all the power. And if we don't call it out, if we don't stop it, we will wake up one day and realize the fight was lost while we were too busy watching the circus. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.